Hello everybody, my name is Zelinator, and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 398. That's still crazy to me to think that I'm at 398 episodes of the series. Anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out which corner is best opportune for scalability. The reason why I say that is, where would it work best if I were to have dedicated areas around here for where I want to put the walls? Howdy Ian, welcome back. Because if I want to move the walls over, from which corner would that be best suited? Slap, slap. Hold on, let me just clean that up real fast. Compulsive terrain smoothing. It never ends. Let me turn that down on my end. Zoop. Alright, so this side I can kind of move forward, which means I'd probably be better if I worked on the other side. But the question is, left or right? This one's already kind of squished as it is, which means I probably shouldn't be expanding over here. Once I steal more of this sand real fast, because I can always use more sand. Saves me time going all the way out to the beta 1.8 desert. There are indeed frames drop in. Sad times. So that means, logically, this side's probably gonna scale better. Yeah, this side I can move over a little bit. I could just get rid of some of that. So then that means the farthest corner is this one. This is where I wish to place the stuff. And it'd be really nice if the internet upload were to work fine, because I don't know what the current problem is. Anyways, howdy, welcome back. So we're gonna have one single layer. How about 5 blocks? Boop, there we go. We got 5 blocks all the way around to do, I don't know, whatever I want. Nothing's running right. Windows just says I need to update, but nothing else is happening. Where's all the bandwidth going? There's nobody else here. So let's start placing this down, and then we'll go from there. Because I'll need to figure out how exactly all this is going to work. There's no way Mojang would remove coordinates after having them in the game for 15 years. People would riot. People complained about the removal, or I should say the fix. People complained about fixing the movement vectors in certain scenarios. You think people aren't going to complain about the removal of coordinates after being in the game 15 years? Alpha 1.2. I think 0.2. No, 0.3, just kidding. Shouldn't be my neighbors. My neighbors are chill. I say as if I know them. I don't really talk to them much. Okay, so we have this side done. And then we're going to do this one next. I don't know yet how I'll do the pillars. Maybe that's where I will grab all the... I don't think I want cobblestone. Part of me does, but at the same time, if I'm going to use cobblestone in the walls, I want to use cobblestone for the other stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boop, boop. My Nizot, you're making such a big deal of turning 20. I turned 20 and nothing happened. More years went by and still nothing happened. Of course, we are not the same. 5. Alright, just making sure. So I'm going to figure out the positions of where I want the support pillars to be. I was originally thinking of just having singular blocks, But as I'm thinking about this, I feel like the scale should be larger. I think the pillars should be a 2x2 area. Maybe I will just use cobblestone. I really don't want to cook up a massive amount of stone in the smooth stone, but I feel like I should. And I think let's see, where would I have left the smooth stone? If they're a brand new item, I'm gonna see if I have any in the third warehouse, because it'd be cool if I don't have to cook up as much as I'm anticipating. But chances are I'm still gonna have to cook up a bunch. I just know it's gonna take a while. If I filled up every furnace, then that would grant me a lot. I wonder if I should have taken the minecart. Nah, it's slower. As long as I have the hunger. Have any of the minecart changes been applied yet? I know they're working on minecarts in the experimental features as of the past few versions or so. I don't know if that's all still considered experimental or not, or if they've made any changes. It is kind of funny though. Some of these experimental features, why not just have snapshots be experimental features? Older will always be better for using social media and other online stuff. Let me grab all this. And doink. Since I don't have enough stone to fill up the last one, we're just going to leave this here. And this means all my stone is now on me. Experimental minecarts are still experimental. I don't even remember what the changes were since I remember hearing about them being added. I should say being worked on, and then that was that. I needed dirt because I feel like I keep spending it to clean up the area. I vote 16 as an improvement over 13. I do not judge their choice. Maybe I'll just fill up one back furnace wall. Oh wait, hold on. I was going to see if I have any up here first, but I'm pretty sure I only cooked up exactly what I needed for the block museum. I might only have a couple up here for all the crafting I did. Look at all those dark clouds. It'd be nice if it rained. Of course, I'd prefer rain in the real world. Where would this be? Have any here? I don't even know where I would have put the smooth stone. Do I even have any smooth stone? Something tells me I would have left it with the slabs. Yeah, how do I... Okay, so I have one slab. Nothing. So, if I have no smooth stone here, I guess that means I cooked up exactly what I needed. Because I would not have put it anywhere in the warehouse too. So, let's just do what I don't want to and start cooking all this up anyways. Since at some point I'll be needing it. Only problem is, I don't know if all this is going to be loaded. We'll start cooking it up anyways. Hey, they fixed the lighting. There are weird lighting issues way at the side over there. I wonder if they fixed it up top as well. There's a cloud in the way. Yeah, there were chunk border lighting issues again. And it looks like that has now been corrected. So, what we're going to do... Start grabbing more of this. I don't want to cook up too much stone though, because I'll still need it. I should be fine though, but I'd rather not run out. So I think I'll do 2 furnace walls instead of 3. Howdy, welcome back. What do you mean change the disk textures? I'm still using the ones from 1 point whatever, 1.1 I believe. No, 1.4 kinda, since that includes Where Are We Now. I've already imported every texture. I'm not using programmer art at all. I've already imported everything from 1.12 and 1.13. I just haven't touched anything for 1.14 yet. It's gotta be so weird when I pick up a couple of the maps on here and it's just whoosh gray. Well, is that taken care of? Let me find the other stuff. I'm thinking about talking to Mazov, asking for some of the programmer art fixes. Because if I don't have to deal with the model stuff all too much, that would be nice. But we shall see. Let me move all that over while I grab some cobblestone. If the Google Drive link says World Archive, that is the World Archive. I'll steal one of you. No, I'll steal all of you. Because I feel like I'm going to end up using this. Alright, back to work as we wait around for all that to cook up. Maybe I'll use it for detailing and then stick to cobblestone for the pillars. So I'm going to figure out the spacing first, and then that'll help me decide where to put the last 2 walls. Question is about how many blocks will feel right. I need it to be large enough so that way I can make sure to fit the giant shelves and whatnot without being too cramped. Howdy Griffin, welcome back. These shulker boxes help me save on chests, because before, the chests in the super small warehouses would end up being 5 double chests tall. And so I'd rather just take an entire single chest's worth of items, plop it into a shulker box, and then keep that in there. Static compression. 27 slots fitting into one. Alright, since nighttime approaches, I'm gonna find where I put my sleeping bag. I forgot to pick it up. But if I'm working in this area anyways, I might as well start laying the goods down now. Huzzah! Ah, it's not nighttime yet. This platform is gonna be a Zelenako. Giant warehouse, wholesale warehouse of sorts. I don't know if y'all have a Costco equivalent up there. That's what we have here in the States. Red balls out front? No, not Target. It's not going to be a Target or a Walmart. This is going to be much larger. Alright, how about... I wonder if I could do 10 blocks. So 10, and then I got my 2x2 pillar. Y'all do have Costco up there. Yeah, think Costco. Yeah, so 10 blocks, and then here. There's already such a thing as Zelenation, and it makes me sad because Zelenation, the name was used back in like 2013 or 2015. 10. Plop this down. This should be easy enough to figure out the skylights in between as well. I'm gonna really hope I'm doing my math right. I'll have to figure it out later. So it looks like I'll need to expand the platform because I'm only at about 5 blocks over here. Oh wait, hold on. If this is the wall, this is 11 blocks, plus the wall, plus 5. If I really wanted, I could bring this down 1. Or I could be, we're just going to expand it, even though I'm really 1 block off. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to expand this, I think 8 blocks or so. I'm going to recount these later. Particularly, I'm going to make another row, and if this second row lines up with the first, I'm going to assume they're both right, because what are the chances of me doing the same mistake twice? Howdy, Koski, welcome back. Okay, so then from here, they might not be as low as I'd think, but they're still low enough that I'm going to trust my counting skills that each time they are correct. Okay, so yeah, this one is absolutely correct. This one is absolutely correct. So now we're going to verify that all of those are correct by making all of these correct. For as long as the planet's been studied, did they do math wrong for many years? Alright, there we go. So this one is lining up perfectly with that one. So then that means if all of these are lined up, I'm going to trust that they're all correct. Alright, so with that taken care of, I'm going to expand the rest of these this way. Oop, let's not do that. So it looks like I'll need to expand this one as well. Another 6-ish blocks or so. No, because I'll need 7 plus wall plus another 5. Unless, hold on, if this is the wall. Okay, so that's the wall. Oh no, I only have to expand it 1 block. Never mind. Well, that's nice. I did better on this side than that one. It's kind of funny. This one needed to be pushed outward by 1 block, and that one needed to be brought inward by 1 block. I say I did pretty good on counting then. So let me just bring this one over. Alright, cool. These are surprisingly not as many pillars as I was anticipating. There's only 4 rows, but at the same time, each pillar is going to be 2 by 2 in width. And there's also 10 block space between. This is a much larger than the builds I'm used to constructing. So let me add 1 to this side, move all the torches over. And then I'll work on this back one as well. I don't know, ask Koski, he was first talking about the planet. Ian's just doing what Ian does. Alright, so that's now the corner. And then I can move this over. Hello. I see a slime. And then, badoop. Alright, so now I can pick up all these torches. I'll probably get rid of that little piece of the mountain anyway. It's only about the planet if you believe it to be. Alright, let's just say huzzah! Nope, stay away, slime. You will regret this decision. You don't know what you've just done. And huzzah! Sun's going down already. Where did the last 10 minutes go? I guess since it's another minute or so until darkness, where did the last 9 minutes go? A lot of counting, that's where. Yeah, for lighting, I'll probably have... You know, I don't know, because there's going to be even numbers between all of these if I were to take advantage of the floor space. I probably could have done an odd number. I don't know how far that needs to go. I probably could have done an odd number. Oh well, too late. I'm sticking with this. I am not at all familiar with Parkour Civilization Minecraft. Long time ago, like 2012, back when I was a wee lad, I remember watching a video or two about Minecraft parkour across jungle treetops. Probably not at all what you're talking about, but I still remember that video. I don't know how many full-length Minecraft movies I've seen, ignoring the official one, talking YouTube stuff. But I remember one that's about 47 minutes or so, and I want to say it's called The Minecrafter. I think it came out early 2011, back when the end was new. It was a silent film, I believe, with just music, no dialogue. It might have been The Minecraftian. It's probably what I'm thinking. That very well could be the video. I haven't seen it since... I've only watched it once or twice. There will be a Population Zellernator movie once I have more entries, because I want to compile them all into one full-length film. It's gonna end up being, 2.5, 3 hours, but that's okay. Alright, so I expanded that side, so now I'll do the same on here. So if this is the last one, I need 10 blocks. And yes, howdy Henry, welcome back. 10 blocks. And then plus the wall, plus the 5. YouTube will not allow anything over 12 hours. Otherwise, there's something, there's like a video I'd want to make, and I think it came out to around 25 hours. Like 25 and a half. Can't remember what it was. Oop, let's bring that down. An original movie? When you say an original movie, are you talking about an original Minecraft short film, or are you talking a full-length real-world film? Because I can do Minecraft much easier than not Minecraft. I would have to divide into parts if it's going to be on YouTube. Pull a Titanic on VHS, cut it in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wall. So then that goes there. Now we fill all this in. There are a few videos still around that are over 12 hours from before that limit. Not only that, it's possible if you talk to YouTube and they let you, it's possible to let your channel have access to longer videos. There's a channel I found sometime within the past several months, and the videos uploaded on there are much longer, and I can't remember the name of the channel. But not only that, some of the video titles are like blank. I know that's easier to do, but I can't remember the channel name, but I thought it was fascinating. Population Zellernator with a news story. The longest entry in Population Zellernator would be, I think, like 45 minutes. The grand finale I'm planning, if I can pull it off, is going to end up being twice the length. But if you're talking a unrelated Minecraft story, we'll see if I ever have something else. There might have been a 2,000-hour long video. There are experimental films and whatnot that are very extensive. There was a project, I don't know if it ever happened or not, but there was supposed to be a film being worked on that I want to say was going to be 30 days straight, and it was going to premiere on New Year's. Maybe 31 days. Well, either way, it's going to be a month long. It was going to premiere on January 1st in theaters around the world. And then once it ends, it's over, and then the only copy of it's gonna be deleted. Or whatever. Some experimental film by a French guy. Or something. I don't know if that ever happened. Because I was looking on it after, and there was not any evidence that it ever came to pass. Other than the official website saying, like, it is finished, translated. Maybe I am gonna need more dirt if I'm gonna fill this in a little bit more. Oop. 10-hour long video of paint drawing. Interesting. Howdy, Paul. Welcome back. Just passing by. No, thanks for dropping on by. See you later. Everywhere at the end of time, being only 6.5 hours is rather easy to do. You just have to dedicate half a day to it. I'm pretty sure it's only 6.5 hours. There was a sort of spin-off made by, I want to say like a 14-year-old called something else that I'm not remembering. That one was 9.5 hours. Yeah, the original was only 6.5, I believe. One volume per day. I couldn't do that. Well, no, I could, but I wanted it all in one sitting. An actual movie submitted to the British movie rating body. That's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if there were protests about changing ratings, because I'm sure there are plenty of other people making comparisons and be like, if this is this, why can't this be that? And so on and so forth. There's a video, I think it was about video game ratings though. An inconsistency in video game ratings. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same thing. 10. Here's my wall, plus 5. Oh, I see they're getting stricter. Griffin, I'm pretty sure I can take a guess other people. Was Bean of the Soy and Method there as well? Yeah, we're just gonna say bye. Reclassifying older movies. Ah, that's where I have a problem. No, you weren't there with them. Interesting. That means y'all listen separately. Sounds like debates. See, exactly. Movie rating debates. And we're gonna be smart about this. What we're gonna do is gonna take out the slime. Nom 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 nom. Alright, so what we're gonna do real fast. We're gonna hold on to the stone, but everything else can be plopped away. It's been so long since I've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. Assuming I ever have watched it in its entirety. I don't know how many Indiana Jones films I have. I don't know, I never got into the series much. I'm sure I have watched it, I just don't know if I've seen it in its entirety. So if that's there, then I'll go to here. Well, at least this is going to help fund more dirt projects in the future. I see the slime. Is he gonna see me? I'm gonna have to run over there because my bed's on the opposite side. Boop. Alright, so let's just bring all this in, and then I'll have to move the torches, but that'll be later. Because what we're gonna do first is mad dash over here and say goodbye to all the slimes. You know, this is gonna be so large, I'm almost tempted to have a dedicated minecart system in here. I feel like that would be rather funny, but once I get the shelves and stuff, once I get the shelves and stuff in place, I feel like there's not gonna be much room. Need to catch up on all the other films. Rather comedic, I say. Alright, while I'm back here, can I put more stuff away? In fact, why don't I just plop down all the shulker boxes? That one's stone, toss the stone. That one's cobblestone already full. Stone, stone. I'll take the cobblestone. Oh wait, hold on. These are all shulker boxes too. Totally not paying attention to what I had in my hotbar there. Those are all full. Maybe what I'll do is, if I move all the stone into there, whoop. I'll use this one for dirt. Dirt, sand, and I guess zombie flesh because it's stealing my space as well. Alright, back to work. I'm already seeing lighting bugs again. I thought that was fixed. Oh well, they fixed the lighting bugs somewhere else. Unless this could be a current problem. I should say reoccurring, of which it was only temporarily fixed. I'm gonna re-optimize the world again when I hit 1.15. So if there are any lighting problems now, they're not gonna get permanently fixed for a while. And then we're gonna hope that by 1.15 I don't have to deal with this anymore. Because those lighting problems have been bugging me ever since 1.3. We're also gonna have to move those torches back when that's where the wall used to be. That can wait. Was Dial of Destiny most recent? Recent being like last year or the year before. Oop. That's a block from earlier. There's a question for you, Griffin, since you have all your movie stuff all organized on whatever site you have linked somewhere. You ever gonna start a film review channel? I feel like keeping it separate from all your Minecraft stuff would be a better decision than if you were to keep it all in one location. Second worst, I hear debates. I don't know if this is spaced out properly. I'm just kind of hoping here. Alright, close enough. I almost had enough stone Oh, you know what? Speaking of stone, hold on. We're gonna head all the way back to the furnaces. I don't know if they've been loaded at all. But now that my inventory is free, if I have stone ready to be cooked up, I should say completed. The cooking is completed. That would be appreciated. I'll just spend all this dirt real fast, though. Optimize space. Video essays about movies. I can understand that. I don't know if I'll ever make more video essays or analysis videos, because I gotta say, the Polyworld explanation video was exactly what I anticipated. A whole lot of work for a really short video. Very short total runtime. Part of that was the amount of video sources I needed. Script was easy, recording the audio was easy. The actual editing wasn't that bad, but getting all the footage and bringing it together in a coherent way is the very reason why I haven't made any analysis videos of the like beforehand. Yeah, getting it for a movie is much easier. TV series would also be alright, other than you just have to keep track of the episodes. Man, with all this running around, maybe I should expand the minecart track. Nah, I could just make... Is there an efficient way to have ice highways that aren't in the 4 cardinal directions? Oh, yep, the lighting bugs are back. All I did was leave the area and make a return. I guess 1.14 just doesn't have that fixed yet. So how are we looking? Everything's still cooking. 17? Way to tell me the chunks haven't been loading without telling me the chunks haven't been loaded. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that keep cooking for a while. I'll need to check back later. Because the walls I'm planning having mostly stone, but we're gonna have strips of cobblestone going around. Nope. You know, hold on. While I'm here, here's what we're gonna do, because I feel like I've hit the point where this is just gonna be more effective. Hi, back. Welcome in. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna boop, 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 boop. Hope this is gonna be enough to be of satisfactory level. You know what I could do if I were to use ender pearls more? I could set up ender pearl launchers around. Hiya! I probably should have brought 6. This is an improvement, I must say, but still not entirely optimal. For some reason, I thought I could throw these farther. Hiya! That saved me a little bit of time. But yeah, if I had ender pearl launchers set up around the location, all I would have to do is just carry around the pearls with me and then launch them. And then they would always fall in predictable areas, so long as I launch them correctly. I don't want to use the elytra because then I have to take the time repairing it. Besides, that's what all the normies do. I don't want to be like all the normies. I'm also used to playing versions without the elytra. Oop. Alright, I think we're set. I just need to make sure... You know what I didn't do? I didn't come back with stone. Let me bring a couple stacks of stone real fast, fix that, because it will bother me the longer it sits there. I do have mending on it, but my XP farm is not well optimized. I'm already dreading when I need to go back up there to fix my shovel, but I know won't be too bad, and I don't have to do it just yet. So what are we going to do? Yeah, I'll fix the hole back there. How much stone do I want to bring? How about I take these two and probably just one for cobblestone. I'm realizing I did not have as much stone as I anticipated because I did put a lot of it into the furnaces. Oops, that's okay. So I'll finish up on the cobblestone pillars soon. Get the bases for them set up. Night time's approaching, but we'll do that later. Using the elytra all over the place within modern times also requires a lot of fireworks. I have plenty of sugarcane, paper, and gunpowder, but taking the time to craft all of that, plus the inventory space. Alright, now let's head back. See ya later, son. I'm looking at the clouds currently, the very few of them that there are, and I'm starting to think about when we hit 1.18 and the clouds are much higher, they're gonna feel so far away. They're already really high now because we're down here with the world 32 blocks lower than what it normally would be. And so the clouds are already really high up. But when the cloud heights goes even farther up, they're gonna feel really far away. Alright, so let's do what we were supposed to and wrap this up. So, how many in total are there? 1, 9. So we're looking at 4 by 9. If I kept this at 4 by 8, it would have been a 2-to-1 aspect ratio. Wonder if that would have lined up better. Well, too late. I've already expanded it. I'm not going to expand it again. So now what I have to do is keep track of this layer and then fill in all the way. This way I don't have to count anymore. I just need to line it up with all the previous pillars. At least this is cobblestone, so it won't be too bad in the event that I somehow done goof. What's probably going to end up happening is I'll build up the walls a little bit. Let me go back by 10. What'll probably end up happening is I'll build up the walls a little bit, use up the last of my stone, as well as get some of the cobblestone in line for the stripes, and then build the pillars as tall as I want them to be. Okay, I'm all set. I know that slime's coming for me though. Well, maybe not. If he stays off in the distance, it'll feel better. You know what? I realized if I put the lamps in the floor, that's gonna give me a refund on some of the stone. I didn't think about that. I don't know how far apart they need to be spaced. I guess I could do the math assuming each one is 15 blocks. I don't know how that will help with the lighting normally. It's probably too late now, but I think I could have had light within each of the pillars if I made them 3 by 3, because that way I could then hide the redstone torches inside the pillars. Too late. So I have all the stone on me. Let me just grab more of this. What I'll probably end up doing is maybe 4 blocks of stone. I wonder. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If I do 4 blocks of stone, and then maybe 2 blocks of cobblestone. This should be enough of a space to have a big ol' 4x4 door right in the middle. Or probably two doors. I wonder if I'm going to run out of stone just going all the way around. There's a very real possibility of that happening. We're making progress though. Hooray! But if the building itself is going to be designed out of stone and cobblestone, then that means I should use the smooth stone and slabs to give detail work to it. It's also going to be fun when I design air conditioner units on the roof. I have plenty of iron for that. I can even make them noisy by having minecarts go round and round and round. I remember doing that back in 1.6. Put a whole bunch of minecarts in one area, like looking at one corner track, and just spawn a whole bunch of minecarts on that one rail. And then you touch it, and it's obnoxiously loud, but it goes round and round and round. If you had a little 2x2 rail in a circle. Back when I was building trains left and right, I would use those nosy minecarts as, or I should say, inside the engine room for the diesel electrics, so it sounded like the train was on. Those were the days 12 years ago. 2013 on a server that was mostly creative. Alright, buzz, is that important? I'm gonna check it once I reach the corner. Oh, speaking of the corner, there it is. Does that mean I'm halfway done with the first layer? Oh, boy. Oh, where'd all the stone go? Yeah, this is definitely gonna be expensive. That's okay. You know what, I can keep track. Hold on, let me put that 6 away. I have 8 stacks on me. We're gonna see how much cobblestone... Oh wait, hold on, sorry, not stone. How much stone it takes. In fact, if I'm building up by 3, let me say another 1, 2, 3 real fast, because I have the corner. So this right here is exactly F. So we're gonna see exactly how much it takes from the 8 stacks of stone. That way I could do reverse math with how much is left to know how much stone it took. And then I just have to multiply by 2. I can't remember what the perimeter was, because I remember counting based on the size of the floor, which was 118 by 68, but then I expanded it to be... I don't know. I expanded 1 block in that way, which would have put it at 69, and then I expanded that way, I don't know how many blocks. Yeah, 1 stack is done. 2 stacks is almost done. Now they're gone. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go up after this for the next stone layer, because you can only build 3 from where you're at, not 4. That's a 1.14 feature, because now that you are slightly lower, you are able to reach the lowest block in survival. Nope! No thank you. Yeah, now that you're able to reach the lowest block in survival, or I should say 1 additional block down in survival, you're able to build 3 blocks upward. For the longest time, you could only do 2. You could do 3 in creative, because creative mode, you have a farther reach than survival. And there's random stuff. I wonder if that means you could build 4 in creative. I don't think so, because it's only enough to reach the next half block, and I can't remember exactly what the reach was. Pretty sure Java and Bedrock have different reaches by half a block. Ignoring the commands, because I'm pretty sure 1.20.5 added a command for entity reach and block reach, if I'm remembering correctly. That slime is rather obnoxious. Once we finish this corner, he's gotta go. Touchdown! Alright, so how many did I use? Okay, so I started out with 8 stacks, right? Let me do that. Okay, so we're looking at 64 times 8 is 512 minus 42. I spent 470 stone going around by 3. So then that means, if I divide that by 3, 156.67. Alright, well, that gets me right around how much I've used. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I need to multiply 470 times 2. 940. So that would be how much stone it'd take going all the way around. So then divide that by 3. 313. Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry, Slime, we gotta go. But yeah. We're gonna make the doors real fast. The big old 4x4 doors, and then we'll go from there. Or just make sure all of this is correct. We have 58 blocks. Certainly quite a lot. So we'll start maybe here. Peekaboo. Huzzah! We'll catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. So this one is, I believe, 2 blocks inward from the pillar. So yeah, if it's 2 blocks inward from here, and so then I were to also include 2 blocks of the pillar itself. This feels like a small door. Then again, it is 4 meters. That's a rather large door. Maybe I'll need like loading docks in the back. Not all of this is proper floor space. But anyways, I had the 2 for the pillar, plus the 2 here. 3, 4. So let's bring all that in. I want them close enough together to tell that that's the front entrance, but I don't want them too close. I think 6 blocks between is satisfactory. I'm also thinking about having 1 more door on the side. If I have a mountain there, I'll probably put it over here. So if I had a 6 block gap relative from there, then I'll put it over here. This one will be, I don't know, gardening, I guess, because gardening areas tend to use additional doors. Or maybe I'll do the same lengths from there. So if that's the case, that would be from the second pillar right here. There we go. So if I have the 2 blocks from there, it should be the 2 blocks from there. Yep, there we go. All right, now I'm satisfied. Those are the 3 primary customer entrances, which means the whole checkout area is going to be along here. Probably from around this area over. All right, well, I'll figure that out some more later. along with the loading docks in the back, but I'll figure that out once I get the docks themselves designed. So, with that taken care of, let's take a look in here. Yeah, I have a lot of cobblestone now. So, now that I have my 4 blocks with stone, I'm almost thinking of having another one. I'm almost thinking of going up 5. And then having my 2 layers, my 2 of cobblestone. Because I feel like the walls are just not enough stone yet. Plus, the 1 layer of stone going all the way around will help me identify the... I should say help me cover up the one block above the doors. So I guess it won't be too bad when I do the next stone layer, because then it'll be... You know, hold on. Why don't I do 6? Why don't I make it 6 blocks in total if I want a lot of stone? 6 and 2. I'm just thinking aspect ratios and how all of this is even numbers. And I just feel like it makes logical sense. Anyways, math. I feel like 6 is going to be better than 5 based on how I'm designing the structure. Okay, let me grab all this real fast. And we'll go back to work. Hopefully I can make it all the way around before nighttime approaches. We're only placing 2 blocks instead of 3, which means it should be going by faster. It also means that when I place the next layer after the cobblestone, it'll be easier to just do 3 and 3. Math. You know what I'm gonna need? I'm gonna need some sort of roof access, because this is gonna get rather absurd. I still don't know how I'm going to design the outer areas. I'll figure that out when we get there. But before then, I'll think of something. Howdy Potato, welcome back. I would probably use concrete. Surely I have enough space to make that fit on the front. Probably. I haven't thought about the sign because I just want to focus on the area itself. I want to focus on the main structure. It's kind of funny that math is short for arithmetic, but you don't have the word math inside arithmetic. It's not arithmatic. Arithmatic. Unless there's a spelling or another word I'm not thinking of. Math is short for mathematics? What? Paul, you misguided me. That makes more sense, though. Then what's the difference between mathematics and arithmetic? Arithmetic Logic Unit, or ALU for short, said the Internet FTW back in 2010. One of these days I'll rewatch his videos. He had, I think, 4 of them on the ALU and CPU. Because there's the first one, the original ALU video. Then he had an update video, and then he had a it's almost ready video, and then he had the CPU video. Arithmath? That is not going to be my new word. Is it area math or aria math? Because I've seen it spelled, I just don't know how it's intentionally meant to be pronounced. Oh, we hit the side door. That means we're close. Oh, out of stone. And that box is empty. Don't worry, I don't know how to type pronunciations either. Even if you were to type it, there's no guarantee it would make most logical sense in my brain, since that is not always the case. Alright, so what I'm looking for, this one's empty. Move that down. That one's still full. That one's halfway full. I want my shovel back. It's not area. Is it area? That sounds weird. Let me grab. Yeah, hold on. Let me just steal more of this or steal more of this stone real fast. So I needed. How much did I say I needed? If it was a little more than 7.5 stacks here, that means I would need at least 15 stacks in my inventory. 2, 3, 15. All right, cool. So if I put away the 27. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to lay down the cobblestone first. Oops. Hold up. Just kidding. I done goofed. That's why I feel like because it's an A and not a, or sorry, it's an I, not a E, which is why in my mind I pronounce it as aria. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, so we're gonna see if I have enough time to lay down the oopsies 2 stacks here. I don't think so. Aria is correct. Then that means I've been reading it in my brain correctly for years. That one was on volume beta, right? It was not released in alpha. I'm thinking I've made a temporary staircase because the sun is indeed going down. I'd rather not spend unnecessary time up here. Oh, I see the darkness. Yeah, I think what I'll do is if I just plop a block here, I'll just do this. Oopsies. The track with the steel pan. Then I'm pretty sure it just came to mind. I'll take this, thank you. Howdy, howdy, Benny. Welcome to the stream. How's it not nighttime yet? Alright, let's see. You don't save in versions that don't save normally. InfDev 327 is the first version that saves normally. However, there are saving mods out there for versions like 227 and 325 that do allow saving. You're kind of on your own though for trying to track down those mods, as I don't have any of them on hand or where to find them. Okay, yeah, I'll put cobblestone to finish this. Making sure there's no slimes. Because there's that one. We're still below. Ah, we're at 42 now. Cool. That means no more cans spawn up here. I don't know if a 1-block wall is enough surface area for a slime to spawn. But, now that we are above level 40, then I won't have to worry about them spawning. Yeah, mods for the Brick Pyramid versions. No versions that have Brick Pyramids save normally. It's really sad because seeing Brick Pyramids in 3D Perlin noise terrain would have been cool. Oh well. One of those why not try things. It's not too bad though, because eventually, after a couple months or so, after a couple months we got the dungeons. Hooray, structure! Even though they're more decoration than proper structure, because that's just how they were. I want to say the dungeon code to this day hasn't changed. Well, Notch did what he did for a reason. I don't know what his reasons are, but I'm gonna hope that there's a reason why saving took so long in InfDev. 325 with saving would have been fine since he fixed most of the problems by then. Flowers and trees were an issue originally. Laziness could have been a feature. Feature of why. Oh well. As a game developer myself, I understand waiting to add saving, and it's only after that I think, well, I do kind of wish I brought it earlier, but oh well. The mindset for me has been, I want to make sure this works correctly, and then figure out how to make it save properly. Thankfully, my triangle game doesn't have to save much, since it's mostly just level stats. I feel like, I'd have to look back at Notch's blog posts, because March 25th, new update. 2 days later, March 27th, 3D noise and update. 3D noise and saving. No more brick pyramids. Within 2 days, he brought back saving and a whole new terrain generator. Alright, there you go. Now I can put away the cobblestone. Oh, I see a slime, but he's down there. Toss that away. How many did I say I needed? 15? There we go. Okay, that's 15. There we go. Alright, let's bring all this together. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if anyone's ever made another 325 saving mod after the original one from Sith. I used it again in the Polyworld explanation video, and you could see that the chunk I'm standing in, the chunk section I'm standing in, and I want to say the one around it as well, maybe, still doesn't render. Don't know what the problem is. I had that problem years ago, and it still isn't fixed. It's one of those, I don't know what's going on thing. Yeah, one of the reasons why I was on a pillar in 325 was to try to hide the fact that the chunk section just didn't render. So you can kind of see that the pillar I was on was invisible, but it's such a small moment that you wouldn't think about it. Only people who are familiar with the 325 saving mod would know. All this stone. Sad times, but that's okay. It'll be worth it. As long as I pull this off correctly, it'll be worth spending all this. I'm also realizing just how high up we are, and I feel like we're gonna have... Whoop. Internal server lag. How bad was it? 0.9 seconds. Oh, there's more slimes down there. There are definitely a few slime chunks in this area, but what can you do? I could have built it at level 40 or above, but now I already have to deal with the slimes. Maybe I'll just plop some iron golems in here as well. Anyways, what I was gonna say that I didn't say was that I'm only planning on maybe having one more cobblestone stripe after this, and then stone on top of that. Maybe not the full 6 blocks, mainly only 2 blocks, and then it'll be the roof. Because I'm getting way up here already. At least I won't have to worry about slimes on the roof. That'll be nice. I'll also have to figure out the lighting system for the roofs though, because if I want to stick to using redstone lamps, just like how I'll be using them in the floor down there, then I'll need to make sure that I have enough light on the roof as well, which means getting that whole system configured. Alright, time to see if we make it. Let's see if I did the math right for the amount of stone I was going to need. Of course, we're not going to be able to finish this today because I don't have the stone. Even if I had the time, I don't have, or I should say, even if I had the stone, I don't think I would have the time either, because once we get close to being low on stone here, I'm going to build up the pillars. The cobblestone pillars down there. I wasn't planning on going this far up on the wall, but then once I laid down the one cobblestone strip, I thought about it and realized, well, let's just keep going. Yeah, if each stone piece is 6 blocks, plus the 2 for the cobblestone, 6, 12, 13, 14. 14 blocks up here. This is definitely getting tall. That's okay. Oh no, I did the math wrong. Oops. I definitely needed more stone that's been cobbled. Let me grab one more stack, see if this gets me all the way there. I feel like I'm gonna need 2 though. That means if I were to attempt the next row, we're gonna run out of stone. Sad times. Oop. 1, 2. Oh, nighttime is here. It all starts again. Ta-da! Look at all that stone. Oh boy. At least now it's all taken care of. But yeah, with the little stone currently in here being over 9.5 stacks, we will not be able to finish the next row of cobblestone, or the next row of stone. Which means what we're gonna do is probably call this here, or I could just finish it. But what we need to do first is wrap this up. Expand the staircase. Flowers spawning in caves is what caused the problems in the instead of 325 normally. Huzzah! Let me catch some Z's. Doo-ba-doop. Alright, so let me look around. So yeah, we have all this cobblestone, which I don't want to cook up into stone because I have plenty of silk touch durability. We're just going to need to start digging another pit. We're going to have to dig another hole where we get a bunch of stone. So what I'll do... probably just grab all this cobblestone. Like, this one's empty now. Let me move the empties over here. So that one's empty. That one's empty. This one's not empty, but I'm done using it for now. And then boop boop. Alrighty, so for these, I just saw those slimes. Yeah, that's definitely a slime chunk right there. Alrighty, so what we're looking at, hold on. This is gonna bother me, and if I don't do it now, it will continue to bother me for a while. There we go, now I'm at 32, so this is divisible by 4. Anyways, if I want to go 20 blocks up, we'll just round, or I should say 6, 12, 18, 22, plus, yeah, if I did 22, then that means I have to go up 21 blocks. So this is, well here, I'll say 22 from the floor. So I'm currently on 0, 1, that puts me way up here at 56. Oh boy, this certainly is going to be nice and tall. Maybe I should get the elytra. Safe way down. Unless if this works. Sorry, boat, if I end up sacrificing you. Nope. So the problem is I just can't run into blocks. Okay, this will be fine. I know what I'm doing. I don't need the elytra for this. I'll just safely land in my boat. Don't try this in bedrock, kids. I'm pretty sure you still take fall damage in bedrock. Oop. Yeah, I have to look at the boat to load it before it comes down to where it's supposed to be. But hold on, let me add this up real fast again. I don't know if I did this right. So I need 21, because the whole pillar's supposed to be 22. As long as this ends up being 56, then I will feel certain. Yep, 56. Okay, I did count the first time. Hooray! Am I making a farm? Welcome to the stream. I'm not making a farm, I'm making a Zelenako. It's kind of a slime farm, but that's just because there are slime chunks in here. And I can't do anything about that. There's no way to prevent slimes from spawning unless you limit the blocks they can spawn on. And that's because they could spawn at any light level under instead of like other hostile mobs. Come on, boat, get down here. Why the delay? Why does it take so long for the boat to get down here? Oh well, not important. There we go, little spirals. $56. Yeah, it feels like it's such a long delay before it comes down here, but oh well. Don't do it. I know you see me, buddy. Alright, 56. So the slime's on that side. Oh, I'm so far away, you can't even see me. We're gonna take a chance and go up next to him. That way I'm closer to the pillar. There we go, that boat was down there. Alright, you have to leave me alone now. Let me take that off real fast. Send all the XP to the shovel. In fact, since my shovel needs the XP so badly, there we go. That probably didn't help much. I don't think slimes give much XP. I'll take it. I feel like this is going to be so long to... I should say it's going to take a long time to complete all these pillars. Totally my fault for deciding to build such a large-scale structure, but I don't have regrets. Ah, I almost made that. Yeah, I almost wonder if I should be like 3-3-3, 3-3-3-3 all the way around, and then build up another 3. No regrets. It's regrets, or I should say regret, flip the G and the, no, flip the E and the R to get regrets. Huzzah! I also realize it's day 5888. 5,888. We are quickly approaching 6,000. All that time I spent at the Enderman farm definitely bumped up the day counter a lot. Let me just look at this real fast. So say I'm down here, and I have 2 stacks. If I have my 2 stacks, I logically don't have to keep track if I know exactly how much cobblestone is supposed to be left over after this. $44. So out of those 2 stacks, if there's 44 left over, that's when I know I've reached the top. Okay, I'll remember that. Where'd my boat go? I needed that. I guess I didn't count as placing it because I pressed Q to drop. Come on. Attaboy. There we go. It's so nice not needing to count with coordinates. And if I end up being slightly off, that's not the end of the world because I can always fix it when I do the roof. The roof is going to be mostly flat because these giant warehouse stores tend to have a really flat roof. But to prevent the rain from sticking on them, there's a whole bunch of holes on the side to allow the water to freely flow out. And we are not in an area prone to having snow, which means it does not have to be slanted. It would be kind of funny if this was a snow biome, though. Nope, it's a beach. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about snow. Even with the altitude, I don't know in an extreme hills biome what the snow level is. Oops, already at 44. I don't know what the snow level is. Beachfront Costco? Kind of. It'd be sad if there's a, like a tsunami. So much product gone. Alright, let me prepare the next 2 stacks and hopefully it'll be time to catch some Z's. 90-ish. Yeah, we are plenty below that. We're only going up to 56. So yeah, this is definitely too low that there would not be snow. Nope, no gravel beach here, Paul. I think there's a gravel beach not too far from here. I don't know if that counts as one. That kind of just looks like a giant gravel patch. So 1.18, it's 120, even higher. Yeah, there's definitely not going to be any snow down here. What about the frozen biomes? Let's say ice spikes. What's the snow level for ice spikes? .56, all good. Ah, the snow is all levels. Sad times. It would have been interesting if there was a small area where you were capable of getting rain, even if it was really, really low down. Me being me, that would have been my design choice. And I realized I did not properly fill that in. Oops. Oops, 57, one block too tall. That's why you gotta keep track of this. This is going to be, if I could at least decorate the insides, this is going to be a rather impressive structure, I'd say. Come on. There you go. It's like it's scared to jump down. Anyways, if I can at least decorate the insides, this is going to be a rather impressive structure compared to a lot of the other stuff I have on this world, where it's a lot of small things. And boop. That's so weird, thinking snow biomes could be below non-snowy biomes, and then you've got the surface biome that would be snowy. That is bizarre to think that they would allow non-snowy biomes. I guess that proves that they do separate the surface versus the cave biomes. .84. Totally irrelevant, but 84 is the number. I just did the math that 84 is the number for how many blocks I'm placing down each time I go up. I just realized there's the 20 block difference. Add that to the 64. What would you need a snow farm for? Wait, hold on. Isn't a snow farm just place down an iron golem in a 1 block area and dig the snow right beneath them? That still works, right? That still allows for infinite snow. See, that'll be easy to take care of. Boop. An iron golem will not give you snow. Did I say iron golem? In my brain was snow golem. RIP, no longer here. What a time that was. So short-lived. I was really hoping he would stick around a while. And then I want to say he was only in 3 streams. I built him in 1, he survived another, and then the one after that. Next thing I realized, oh, he's gone. I don't remember if I had a memorial for him or not. Pretty sure that's the only snow golem I built on this world. Because I have snow golems. Well, I have the structures for snow golems way out in the Alpha 1.2 chunks, because I thought it would be funny to build snow golems without turning them into snow golems. If I were to ever update those, I think they would turn. I might have to replace the pumpkin though, and I'm not doing that. They will forever be snowmen, because you can't do that in Modern anymore. Unless you could do that with pistons. I can't remember if pistons were ever able to push pumpkins. They used to not be able to. Or maybe they did, but they just didn't turn the... They did not create the golem. Minecraft is indeed better than Candy Crush. Always, hands down, forever will be. I just looked at the time. 25 minutes left already. Your real world house or your Minecraft house? Because if it's Minecraft house, you could say, look, you could build one too. Is that just server lag? No, it's not. The boat really just doesn't want to come down here. Oh, wait. Pre-generated? I can understand that. Those who don't play don't know. I wonder if I'm even going to have enough time to finish all of these. It'd be really cool if I could dedicate this time to loading the chunks to let all the stone cook. What's probably going to end up happening is once the stream is over, I'm going to stand in my furnace room and let them all finish smelting. Is Android still cheaper? I should say, is mobile still cheaper? They haven't bumped up the mobile prices, even though they've they changed the name a couple times. So think that you could get a computer experience for $30 playing on Windows 10 or 11, yet you could play the same game on mobile for a third of the price. No, a quarter-ish. Alright, sun's going down. Well, I was able to get all of those pillars in, which means it'll take me about about 10 minutes to do. Let's see how many of these pillars I can get in. Unfortunately, Pocket Edition Lite's no longer around to try before you buy. Oop. Yeah, one more pillar. I can do one more pillar. So it looks like I can do about 13 pillars in 10 minutes. No, sorry, 11. 11 pillars in 10 minutes. I think it's getting too dark. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe I will be able to squeeze one more in. Oop, hold up, this is it. Because it's 9, 10, 11. This one's about to be 12. So that means I'll be able to finish this row and about half of the other in another 10 minutes or so. Sometimes I forget that the computer version of Minecraft has a demo. The things that it's had other than the PC Gamer demo, that it's had an official demo mode ever since 1.3. I feel like that's one of those features people just don't think about with 1.3. Recreating the Mines of Moria and Lord of the Rings. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I keep saying I'm building Costco. Were you not here when I said it earlier? Well, technically I'm building Zelenate Co. because, you know, Costco's not mine. But Android has a demo. Does Android have a demo nowadays that's not Pocket Edition Lite? Well, it wouldn't be called Pocket Edition Lite because it's not Pocket Edition, hasn't been for 8 years. I didn't realize they brought back a demo for Android. Alright, there we go. So if all goes according to plan, I should be able to do all of this plus another 1, 2, 3. I should only have 2 left. If I am fast at this, I should only have 2 left by the time the next night arrives. And good thing I filled up on cobblestone because I realized, oops, I'm gonna run out. Down, boy. Good job. That still feels like I'm trying to get a dog to jump somewhere as I patiently wait. For being such a short distance away, why does it take so long? And it's not every time. I don't understand the boat desynchronization. Because I'm not falling very far. I just don't know why the boat doesn't want to move here. Oh well. I guess I am mathematically going to finish this up. Which means, I should say finish this up before the stream is over. Which means what I'll probably end up doing is spending the last 5 minutes or so in the end. Oops. If I did my math right, I should have about 5 minutes after I do the last 2 pillars. And then by the time I get through the portal back to the stronghold, travel distance, all that stuff. At least the more of these pillars I construct, the easier it is to construct each of them. As long as I'm keeping track of the amount of items in my hotbar. And remember to fill up each stack every time. There we go. See, that boat was fast. That one was nice because it came forward immediately. Remember when boats were responsive? Those were the days back in 1.2. I say responsive, but it really comes down to those boats were not very fun to work with. I think it was 1.3 that made it so that boats finally drop boats. I should say boats drop boats when you break them by hand. Not if they crash into something. That's another boat. Is that important? No. What's probably going to end up happening is instead of going all the way back to the start, I'll just start building from this layer. That way I don't have to waste any time going back to the other side. Hooray, micro optimization. We're almost done. 8 to go. Yeah, one thing's for sure, I'm looking around and I'm realizing it really has been quite a while if I've ever done, or if I've ever built a singular building so large before. We're gonna ignore the dirt fish. Those are not particularly buildings, those are one simple pattern replicated. There's a creative world I've been working on every once in a while. And so I might have my largest building on there, I'll need to verify. But that was, not only was that creative, I've also utilized commands on there just to speed up building processes and whatnot. There are things like world edit and a couple other things. Since it's run as a server, I get to take advantage of server plugins. There might also be mods on there. I can't remember. Anyways, not important. Point being, I have additional built-in tools that help with building stuff, and so I might have something larger on there. There's a particular industrial area building that I have that I constructed. I would have to compare the size with this one. But anyways, for survival, this is definitely up here because I've said before, I like building a lot of smaller items, a lot of smaller structures to fill in the world as opposed to having a few large structures. But this time, I wanted something different. Looking at the time, about 13 minutes left of the day. Go on, math. See if I did it right. Maybe if I'm also faster, I might be able to finish the last 4 rows here before... Oh, yeah, I could totally finish the last 4 rows here. That'll be nice. That'll save me more time. Either way, we're still going to the end after this to fix the shovel. I don't particularly need to do it, but I haven't figured out how to solve my stone problem, and I don't want to solve the stone problem today. We're going to figure that out tomorrow. Maybe if I'm lucky... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, maybe if I'm lucky, the pillars here are taking up space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool, I will have enough. The pillars off in the distance are taking up space to prevent slimes from spawning, because they will be counted against valid surface areas. I don't know exactly what chunk it is. I can probably guess if I were to turn chunk borders on. And I don't even know if there's just one in here, because I haven't figured out if any slime spawn on this side yet. I've only seen slime spawn right around there, the middle-ish. Oopsies. I was thinking about slimes. Went too far. What will probably end up happening is we're gonna sleep after this. I don't know if I should bring any of the shulker boxes here or move them back. The empty ones, I should say. The cobblestone ones I can fill up, though. That'll be easy. But the stone, I don't have any replacements for it. I'm also gonna have to clean out the dirt and sand and whatnot. The other items that don't belong in there. Yep, another minute or so. Couple minutes until I could sleep, I should say. Nope. Ta-da! We're all done here. Look at all these pillars. So yeah, based on the slime spawning, I want to estimate right about what chunk it is. I don't think it's this one. I think it's either this one or this one. I'm leaning towards this one currently. I don't know. Well, either way, this is no longer much of a problem. And I'll repair my shovel later, because that's what we're going to do before the end here. So yeah, let me pack up my stuff, and then we'll start heading out. But yeah, look at this. Look at all these pillars. I'm very satisfied with how this is turning out so far, even though it really is just a giant gray box. Once I start decorating inside, it'll look nicer. It'll look more like a proper building. Ah, so close. That was not full. Those are all empty. That's the last of my stone. So let me pack all this up and then we can head out. We'll head back home, resupply, and go from there. How is it not nighttime yet? Can't see the Zella moon from here, especially not with the walls going up. Doo-doo-ba-doo-ba-doop. And awakeness, Kurt J. Mack used to say. When we're back at the warehouse, I'll also be stocking up on more bacon. I'm getting low. Let me just compulsive train smooth real fast. Yeah, this area, little by little, I'll be cleaning it up. But I'll deal with that later. At some point, I'll clean up the landscape. Maybe when I put down more torches. That's when I'll do it. Ah, yes, the one swamp tree. Because there's a, somewhere around here. I think it's this one. Hold on, where is it? There's a non-swamp. Is it? Hold on. I think it's this one. Yeah, this chunk right here. This entire chunk is all plains biome. Surrounded by swamp because for some reason it repopulated and I only replaced the blocks. I didn't replace the biome. Kind of my fault. Should have done that, but too late. I don't remember when that happened, if I was still in 1.12 or not. That might have occurred during 1.13. No, it was during 1.12, because I remember talking about the 1.12 pre-releases. So I guess I could have used MCEdit to fix the biome at that time as well. But too late. I'll just let it sit there. A permanent scar on the world that you can only see if you have the biome colors visible. Okay, so with all this stone, that's cobblestone. So yeah, that one's empty, that one's empty, that one's mostly empty. This one has other stuff. Look at all them slime balls I don't want. It's a bunch of dirt. Those are all empty, so those two are full. These are not yet. I'll take more sand because I appreciate it. Oh, that's bread. That was not the correct chest. Oopsies, hold up, keep one. Dedicated slot. Alright, let's see how much cobblestone I have. Well, here, I guess let me plop down away first. Empty, empty, empty. Okay, so I think those are full still. Says plus 22, so I'm gonna trust those are completely full. Those are completely empty. But thankfully, we have plenty of cobblestone down here to resupply. That one's now full. That one's now full. So you know what, here, let me feel just a little bit better about myself. Toss those two. And let me just verify that these are all completely full. Oh, that one wasn't. I had a feeling that one wasn't. And I couldn't figure out which one. Aha. Me and math. Okay, toss all that. We are now set. I can put away the zombie flesh, and then I was right around 5 minutes. Right around 5 minutes till we head back to the end. I guess it's gonna take me a minute or two to get there. Plus, I'll still have to take the boat going across the ice highway. So yeah, I'm gonna solve my stone problem later. We're just gonna find another place where I can start digging. I don't know where, but we're gonna find that next time. You know what I didn't bring? I didn't bring food. Oops. So before I go back to the end, let me grab more bacon real fast. I'll take that, thank you. Me of the past, good job keeping up on the food. At some point I'll need to go bacon hunting, but thankfully that won't be too big of a problem with the amount of pig spawners I have. Food is not an issue on this world, especially now that I have fire aspect and looting. I get more bacon. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't finish the sheep farm, and this one brown sheep is still walking around where he's not supposed to. I was supposed to work on that, but then I got distracted and did other stuff. That's okay. That took a long time to load the terrain. Wonder what went wrong. Can we make it up? Nope, still cannot make it up the stairs. Oh wait, I could have. Ah, that's what happened. I stopped sprinting. I might have been able to make it up the stairs. Oh well. Up the stairs, not up the stairs. Up the stairs, down the stairs. Get my steps in for today. Loading, loading, loading. Chunk loading for sure feels slow. For some reason I thought I couldn't see the silverfish in there. And I still don't know how that bed ended up in that tiny hole there, and I'm kind of surprised that the Ender Dragon didn't defeat it. Defeat the bed. Destroy the bed. And if it takes us another minute to get there, then we're not going to spend too much time in the farm. Like, let me just move this now. I'll take off my armor once I get there. I would not feel safe removing it beforehand. I don't know how much of the shovel is going to get repaired while we're here, but at least we'll make good progress on it. They added boat sprint prevention. That's kind of funny. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. Sprinting in boats or in minecarts don't make a difference. Same thing with horses. But it still does the field of view change. I feel like that gets fixed in later versions, but I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. After 30 seconds, you stop sprinting. Oh, out of time. We made it. Doop. Come on, boat. Come on. Come on, I believe in you. I don't want to relog, but I'm going to. Sometimes the boat doesn't like popping up in the proper location. Alright, let's go grab a sword. Soon I'll get to combine these. I don't think I can do it yet. Nope, I think that might be 1.14.3. Alright, let's go get the XP for the last 30 seconds of the day. Howdy y'all, how's it going? Nice of you to drop on by. Maybe what I'll do is I'll wait the 30 seconds, then at the end of stream I'll just huzzah all the Endermen that have showed up. fact, we're also going to turn the audio down real fast, because this will get loud. I wonder how much XP we'll get from this. Probably not a lot, but we'll see. And since we hit 2 hours, for any of y'all who have any final thoughts, start saying them now. Because we'll be back again next time. Next time being tomorrow. For Thursday's stream, I'll figure out the stone problem then. So yep, that's all that. Let's get all the goods and then end off the day. Alright, yeah, that was not all too much. Well, I guess maybe about a third of it. Yep, that's all it. Thank you all for watching. Bye.